Testing, testing. All right, that works. That was a little depressing. Panthers seem like they're ready to go. We got 8 minutes on the scoreboard, on the game clock. And in the jump ball circle, we got John Beckwith and Sean. Or I don't want to butcher your last name. I don't even know how to pronounce it. As the referee gets set, we'll be ready to rock and roll shortly. Panthers shooting to the left. The Conquerors shooting to the right. Both players go up first. Sean gets a hand on that one, goes back to Rostelli. Rostelli going to bring this one into the offensive zone, finds Titus on that left inner corner, swatted out of bounds off number 42, and it will drop in the out of bounds territory. Josiah, the lineup against Titus Bailey to inbound this ball down on the baseline, lobs that one up. Sean able to get a hand on that one, shoots that one up, not quite able to score on that first try. Comes down to the hands of Rostelli, brings this one out that right corner, cuts back out towards that right wing, chucks this one across the lake into the key. Shot goes up by Sean, not able to score. Titus with the secondary, able to claim that secondary shot. Panthers open up that scoring right off the bat. Elijah able to take off that ball that just came out of orbit. Off the bobble from the defensive play by the Panthers. 7:25 remaining in this first quarter of play. Here's Rostelli with it now. Cuts over towards that right side, hits that three-point line, stops, shoots for three, and scores. Beautiful shot by the number 4 in the gray. Here comes John, able to chuck that one down into that right corner. Number 5 with a shot. Scores! Makes it a much closer game than what it was before. They're only going to call that 2 points, but nonetheless, it was a very beautiful shot. There's James up against Rostelli, picked off by a block. Shot goes up by Rostelli, not able to score on that one. Sean with the secondary, runs that one up, hits him, comes back down. Rostelli and Sean fight over it. Sean comes up with it, shoots it, not able to score. Goes off Sean, Sean shoots that one. Whistle is blown. Elijah with the push, and it will be a defensive inbound for the Conquerors. James sending this one in. John going to take this one down under his own volition. Chucks that rock over towards that left wing. Josiah bouncing that one in. Ethan with the shot. Scores! Bringing it within 1. Here comes Rostelli, calm and cool, coming out of his own end. 6:23 remaining in this first chapter of play. Rostelli stopped up. No imminent threat, not really any rush to go anywhere. Cuts over towards that left side, finds a little bit of an opening, drives down to the baseline. Shot goes up, hits the bottom of the backboard, comes down to the hands of James. Able to find Ethan. Ethan going to bring this one down that right wing. Throw a little bit too far out of the hands of Brandon. It will land out of bounds. Inbound for the Panthers on their own baseline. 6:03 remaining in this first quarter of play. 5 for the Panthers, 4 for the Conquerors. Titus here going to be the one inbounding this one to Rostelli. There comes Rostelli out of his own end. Calling steady, finds Sean down towards that key, bobbles that one, but regains control after a short while. Hands this one over to Montana. Montana outside that three-point line, treads in towards the offensive territory, bounces this one out towards the point, goes over towards that right block shot, goes up by Elijah, and scores! Extends their lead to a 7-4 game. And Panthers are going to send that neutral zone trap, able to get this one up and over down to Ethan, bounces this one into James. James looking for an outlet, finds that one over to Brandon. Shot goes up. Secondary shot by John, able to send that one home. Feels a little bit of contact on his eye, and that's never pleasant. Whistle is blown. Lost his contact. We'll have a short stoppage as he cleans it out. My bad. He's just going to have a substitution. Luke will come in for John Beckwith. And we'll play on. 5:20 remaining in this first quarter of play. He'll probably substitute back in whenever he has his contact all cleaned out and ready to go once again. Rosselli cuts over towards that right side of the court, bounces this one down to Sean. Sean down that right inner corner, pressured up by number 5, finds Rosselli. Rosselli fakes a shot, takes this one inside the three-point line. They're going to call Titus for 3 seconds inside the key, and it will be coming out inbound on the baseline for the Conquerors. 7 for the Panthers, 6 for the Conquerors, 5:05 remaining in this first quarter of play. Brandon here with it, able to get around Titus, takes this one down under his own volition. Inside the three-point line he goes, shoots. Not quite able to score, it's a little too short, gets his own rebound. Brandon down there in the midst of the jungle of arms out of the Panthers defense, just gets it to James over to that right side. Shot goes up by Ethan, not quite able to sink that bucket, and it comes down to the hands of the defense on the Panthers side. Montana here with it now, handing this over to Titus. To Rosselli. Rosselli going to cut down towards his middle lane. Able to get a little bit of spinorama action. Able to get this one to Sean. Sean shoots. Not quite able to score on that one. Now goes off the fingertips of James and out of bounds it falls. Panthers inbound on the offensive baseline. John Beckwith's going to substitute back in. And Luke will go back on the bench. I tried reading your last name. I just don't want to butcher it. And we're going to call that one off the offense as there was no contact made as the inbound just trickles out of bounds. It will be a Conqueror inbound. They're going to come down hot and heavy. Ethan there into the offensive zone. He pushes, gets this one over towards that left side. Shot goes up, not quite able to score as the shot from Josiah. Whistle is blown. I believe he held up the numbers 45, that being Elijah Toth. John Beckwith gets a shot for 2. First one, not enough mustard to get that one in. Second shot will tie up the game if he makes this one.
Come on, Joe. Keep a body on him. Make him work for him.
Secondary shot goes up. No points were made. Goes off of... they called it blue. Both teams are blue. It's going to be an offensive inbound for the Conquerors in the Panthers zone. James going to be the one inbounding this one. Able to get this one down low. Shot goes up and scores. Beautiful shot by Joseph. I think I keep calling him Ethan. That's my fault. Rosselli there driving down that left side. Stops, shoots for 2. Not quite able to score as it hits that shelf. Comes down to the hands of Brandon. Brandon coming out with a lot of speed in his footstep. Whistle is blown. I heard the word stripped in blue 12. So it'll be on Montana on the Panther side. Inbound coming in for the Conquerors. Able to get this one over to John. Back over to Brandon. Brandon shoots inside the key. Not quite able to score on that one. A little too far left. And it will be off. He signaled for a tip, but it will be Panther inbound on the baseline. 7-8 is a score in favor of the Conquerors. Just under 4 minutes remaining in this first chapter of the story tonight. Rosselli bringing this one into the offensive zone. Heads over towards that left lane. Cuts back in towards the middle. Finds Elijah. Elijah turns, shoots. Not quite able to score on that one. Goes off a blue fingertip over to James. James going to pick this one up. Finding John across the crease. And coming down into the offensive zone. Able to get this one down. Shot goes up by Joseph. Not quite able to score. John with the secondary. Not able to score on that one. Gets his own rebound. Shot goes up. Whistle is blown. Elijah on the arm. 2 shots for John Beckwith. First one not too effective. Second one can extend the lead to 2. Secondary shot hits that shelf, comes down to the hands of Sean. Sean in a little bit of trouble, finds Montana. Montana coming out of his own zone. Hands this one over to Rosselli. Rosselli hanging over towards that left side of the court. Keeps on trekking down the left wing, able to find Titus. Titus down in the zone. Whistle is blown. Unclear of what the call was. It'll be blue ball on their own baseline coming in. Here's John Beckwith with it now. Cuts over towards that left side of the court. Pick made by James. Gives him a little bit of elbow room. Able to send that one over. Goes off the hands of Sean out of the three-point line. It goes. Shot goes up by Brandon. Not quite able to score on that one. Coming out with this one is the Panthers defense. Sean there goes over to Rosselli. Rosselli going to bring this one out for the Slippery Rock Panthers. 2:50 remaining in this first quarter of play. It's a 1-point differential up on that board. Drew Stelly going to take this one in under his own volition to the baseline, cuts in towards the middle, shot goes up, not quite able to score on that one, goes off John Beckwith into the hands of Sean. Sean not quite able to score on the first one, shot goes up by Elijah, and that'll be a good bucket. Elijah will get a chance to shoot for one more. Number 11 on the Navy Blue team, that'd be John Beckwith, caught with his hand in the cookie jar, and Elijah will get a chance for one more foul shot to make it a three-point game, or three-point play rather. Secondary shot, not quite able to score on that one. Beckwith bringing this one out of his own zone, hugs over towards that right side of the court. Inside the three-point line he goes, looks for that pass, goes off the fingertips of Montana and out of bounds it falls. Conquerors inbound on the baseline of the Panther zone. James, you're going to be the one inbounding this one. Able to get this one out towards that point. There's John with it now. Gets this one down low. Joseph there faking that shot, goes across the crease, but picked off by the Panthers defense. Montana being the one to do so. Finds Rostelli, and things will calm down a little bit. 2:16 remaining in this first quarter of play. 1 point differential still on the board in favor of the Panthers this time around. Rostelli going to cut over towards that left side inside the three-point line. Now hits that left block. Shot goes up, hits the backboard down to the hands of James, and then John. John going to bring this one out for the Conquerors. Able to get this one down low. Shot goes up by Joseph. Hits that rim after the backboard, and it comes down to the Panthers' hands. Sean able to get this one over to Drew Rostelli. Drew Rostelli coming down with fire in his footsteps, able to shoot that one down inside the key. Titus Bailey was the last point in contact, and then it trickles out of bounds. 1:49 in the first quarter of play. They're going to call this one a white ball. Panthers ball on the Conquerors baseline. Titus here to inbound this one, tries to get this one to Sean. Sean turns, shoots outside of the key, hits that rim, comes down. Rostelli fighting for that one. They're going to call this one off Rostelli and out of bounds. Conquerors get the inbound on their own defensive left side. Beckwith here picking this one up, taking this one up. Panthers have that neutral zone trap. Titus there to say hello, able to get past one. Pressured up by Rostelli. Sean takes a swipe at that one, but still gets that one through. Joseph with the shot, not quite able to score on that one. Beckwith stumbling over as he backpedals towards the ball, gets a shot off, not able to score on that one. Titus Bailey here with it now. Bailey at that neutral zone. Pushed it up by Josiah, cuts over towards that left side of the court, picks it back up, not able to dribble anymore, goes off the foot of Montana and out of bounds it falls. Conquerors ball on their own right side of the defensive zone. 1:12 remaining in this first quarter of play. Panthers at 9, Conquerors at 8. Here's Beckwith chucking this rock down for all it's worth, able to find the hands of Joseph over towards the left side. Josiah not quite able to score on that one. Panthers pick this one back up on the right side, drives down as Titus Bailey. Bailey on the right wing hits that baseline, looking for any option. Shot goes up for two, not quite able to score on that one. Coming out the other way is number 5. Looking to get this one inside the zone. Beckwith not able to score on that one. Beautiful defensive play. They're going to say one off the shooter and out of bounds. Jacob Good's going to come onto the court, and Titus Bailey will go onto the bench. Panthers inbound on their own baseline. Here's Rostelli with it now. Rostelli taking a look at his options. Inside that three-point line he treads, then weaves right back out. Tries to lob that one up, but picked off by John Beckwith. Beckwith bringing this one down for all it's worth. Able to shoot this one up, not quite able to score on that one. Jacob gets that one, and it will be toppled over by Joseph. And the jump ball is called. It will be a Conquerors inbound on the Panthers baseline. James going to be the one to do so, and I'll keep the clock in shot for you, just so you're well informed of how much time's remaining in the first quarter of play. Beckwith goes over towards that right side into the key. The pass goes outside once again. Beckwith with a shot. Not quite able to score on that one. Rostelli going to pick this one back up with just around 10 seconds remaining in this first quarter of play. Rostelli taking his time outside that three-point line. Cuts over towards that left side. Shot goes up, blocked away, and that'll be the buzzer. Panthers at 9, Conquerors at 8. We got a 1-minute intermission. Do what you want. We'll be right here whenever the minute's over. All right, looks like both teams are ready to rock and roll out there on the court. Well, I got a little ahead of myself. Both teams are not ready to rock and roll out there on the court. They're going to play for all the marbles out there. They're going to leave it all out there on the line. 1 point differential. It's anybody's game. It's only the second quarter. We got 8 minutes up on the clock. And Rosselli's going to take the inbound. Panthers shooting left and Conquerors shooting right. Rosselli cuts over towards that left side, hits that three-point line, treads over towards that left wing, cuts back into the middle. Inside the key, shot goes up. Not quite able to score on that one. James able to regain the rebound. Tries to get it to Beckwith. Sean trips that one up, but we'll be bringing this one out. Conquerors ball. Able to shoot this one down on the left block. Shot goes up past Elijah, hits that left side of the backboard and comes down to the hands of Luke. You're going to say he's on the line as he made contact. Panthers inbound on their own defensive baseline. Inbound by Rosselli, goes over to Good, back to Rosselli. 7:40 remaining in the second quarter of play. Only 20 seconds transpiring between the start of the game and now. Rosselli pressured up by Beckwith right around that neutral zone. Cuts over towards that right side, able to keep pace with him. Goes over to Good, back over to Rosselli. Rosselli regaining possession. Shot goes up. They're going to say he left his feet. Shot will be nullified. Conquerors inbound on their own defensive baseline. And the Panthers are going to look for that neutral zone trap that they've been running so far today. Beckwith able to get this one down low. Elijah there to pick that one off. Able to find this way up to Rosselli. Rosselli bringing this one downtown. Sean shoots. Not quite able to score, but draws the foul. Blue 42 on the arm. That would be James Williams. Sean's first shot a little too near and too far to the left. Maybe he'll be able to adjust for a secondary shot. Secondary is a good one. Makes it 10-8. Beckwith coming out with a lot of steam in his engine, looking for that pass across the crease. No one there to accept that one, and it does fall out of bounds. Panthers inbound on their own baseline. 7:09 remaining in the second quarter of play. Panthers now at 10 and Conquerors at 8. 23 minutes remaining in the game. Here's Rosselli coming down that left side, stops up on that left wing, able to get this one down to Sean. Sean able to weave in and out of the defense. Shot Rosselli with a shot, not quite able to score on that one. Comes down to the hands of Montana. Montana outside that three-point line, diving after this one. Looks to be number 4 Ethan Kapp, and it will be knocked out of bounds off of his hand. Panthers inbound on the offensive baseline this time around. And Luke there to say hello in the face of Jacob. Able to bounce this one down and in. Beckwith there to pick that one up for the Conquerors, and he's going to bring this one out. Able to alley-oop this one over to James. James on that right block. Shot goes up. Not quite able to score on that one. Sean comes down, regains possession for the Panthers in the defensive zone. Pressured up by Beckwith. Beckwith picks this one up on the free throw line. Able to get this one over to Ethan. Back over to Beckwith. Takes that three-point shot, takes it afterwards, and comes down a little too short to butter the biscuit on that one. Rosselli going to pick this one up around that neutral zone. Ethan there to keep pace with him, and will back off after a short while. 6:25 remaining in the second quarter of play. Panthers are leading 10-8. Rosselli there at that neutral zone decides it's bide his time, waiting for the best opportunity possible. Jacob's pick, not quite the most effective thing in the world. Fakes that shot. Rosselli looking for a secondary. Hits that one up a little too short for the requirements of a bucket, and it comes out with James Williams. James coming into the offensive zone. Sutter steps that shot for 2, not quite able to sink that one down. Luke bounces this one over to Beckwith on the left corner, able to shoot this one over across the bow, but not able to contain that beast is James Williams. 5:58 remaining in the second quarter of play. 10-8 is still the score. It's a 2-point differential. Only one bucket to be had to change the tide of the game. Here's Rosselli coming out of his own zone. Able to throw that one down. Put a lot of mustard on that hot dog. Shot goes up by Sean, and he grates the carrots on that one. Did he grate carrots? Is that a thing? I know there's a thing of shredded carrots, and it's weird, but it's a thing. James able to get this one down low. Shot goes up by Joseph, and that was a very nice bucket to be had for the Conquerors. Brings them back within 2. Sure, if that camera works a little lackluster. Yeah. Rosselli able to get this one down low, able to keep this one alive with one hand, and that one being his left hand. Shot goes up, not quite able to score on that one. Whistle is blown. They're to call Montana on the reach around, calling him for the bear hug in the Gabe terms of basketball. 5:15 remaining in the second quarter of play. 2-point differential. Just one shot can change the entire game. Loses that dribble, able to get this one down to 12. Yeah, I just forgot to add the Panthers 2-point shot Rostelli bringing this one down towards that left block, able to find Sean. Sean shoots this one up, not quite able to get enough mustard on that one. Whistle is blown. They're going to call Elijah on a foul, on a push. He's going to signal for a 1-and-1. So if James makes the first, he gets a shot at a second. If not, it's just business as usual.
Nice and easy, boy.
First one goes up, not quite able to make that one. Sean getting a hand on that one. Beckwith stealing that one away out of the pocket of Sean. Shot goes up by number 5, not quite able to sink that one down. Very nice defensive play by the Panthers. Titus Bailey going to come in, and Elijah Toth will take a seat on the bench. And the Panthers will adjust. James Williams looking to inbound this one. Heads it over to Beckwith. Beckwith on the baseline, loses control of that one. Goes out of bounds, and it will be signaled Panther ball. Here's Rostelli with it. Now tie ball game, 12-12. It's tied up like a hog in a rodeo. Rostelli cutting over towards that right side, slows back up. Cuts back over towards that right. Pick made by Montana, very well utilized by Rostelli. Sean pressured up by the defense, able to find Titus. Titus on that baseline, bouncing this one back down. Shot goes up by Sean. Scores! Takes the lead right back for the Panthers. All right, Beckwith coming into the offensive zone, able to get down this baseline. It's going to be white ball as a result of that play as he steps out of bounds. Timeout by the FCA Conquerors. 4 minutes, 7 seconds remaining in this first half of play. Panthers at 14 and the Conquerors at 12. It's a minute timeout. So I've got a lot of time to fill as far as commentary goes. The Panthers are out there running and gunning. They're calling Elijah for a handsome amount of fouls out there on the court, so he might get into a little bit of foul trouble. And before the night's over, he may in fact foul out. And the Panthers will have a lot to adapt to if that's the case. Elijah's a big guy out there. He'll block shots every angle, every aspect you can think of it. So if he's out of the game, those are pretty big shoes to fill. I believe they're size 11, if not 12 shoes. So whoever they can find to do that. I believe Seth Dunlap wears 13, so he could probably fill those shoes if he's ambitious enough out there on the court. But that's not my call to make. That's a call for Coach Mandrell. I don't have enough knowledge about FCA to give in-depth player reviews. So Beckwith seems to be the man of the hour out there for them. So let's see if he can keep up his performance throughout the next, I believe it to be 18 minutes. So 19 minutes, 20 minutes of play. Titus going to inbound this one, pressured up by Beckwith, looking to get this one over to Sean. Sean holding this one up, and he's going to take this one down that left wing. Sees a little bit of open, a little bit of daylight out the end of the key. Shot goes up and scores. Beautiful way to take advantage of the full court press. There's always loopholes no matter what kind of defense you run, and Sean was able to pick that one off beautifully. Able to get this one down. Joseph losing control of that one. Good again to pick this one up. They're going to call a jump ball. They're going to deem it enough contact to call a jump ball, and it will be a Panther inbound right where the foul is called. The FCA looking to add a lot of pressure onto this inbound. Joseph losing control of that one, goes over to Sean. Sean spinning back out and around, able to get this one down into the offensive zone. Shot goes up. Not quite able to score on that one. Beckwith gets a hand on that one, and it will come out Conqueror ball. Panthers pressing on that offense, able to get this one over to Joseph. Joseph going to bring this one down into the offensive zone on that right block, loses possession of that one, and they're going to say that one went off of Sean. James Williams here to inbound this one for the Conquerors, going to look for his options, able to get this one over to Beckwith. Beckwith on that right side, passes that one off to Joseph. Joseph with a shot, not quite able to score on that one, able to coming out towards that right out of bounds, or right out of bounds in perspective of the Panthers side. Running after that one, trying as hard as Ethan, not quite able to get a hand on that one, but good valiance effort nonetheless. Panthers at 16, Conquerors at 12, 3:21 remaining on the first half of play. Rostelli's going to come out of his own end. High pressure from both defensive sides. Rostelli stops up towards that point, treads inside the three-point line, inside the key. He goes, shot goes up, and scores! That was a very beautiful play by Drew Rostelli out there, making it 18-12. James finds John. John going to bring this one out. Cuts in towards the middle, finds the key. Shot goes up. Not quite able to score on that one. Jump ball is called, and it'll be a Conquerors ball on the offensive baseline. James Williams here to inbound this one. James looks towards that right or that left corner, able to give it a little bit give and go between him and Beckwith, and they bring two back home for the Conquerors. Roselli here, pressured up by Beckwith. Drew playing a little stop and go, able to take this one down to the offensive zone, finds this one over towards that left side. Shot goes up by Sean and scores. Answers those last 2 points made by the Conquerors with two of his own. Able to check this one down for all it's worth. Joseph Williams keeps this one alive, but just barely. Ethan running after that one, keeps that one going. Able to get this one back over to James. Fumbled around in the legs of the Panthers. Sean comes up with that one, stolen away by Beckwith. Beckwith bringing this one to the house. Shot goes up and scores. They're going to call that a perfectly legal play, and all will be well. Coming down the other way, Montana bounces this one down to Sean, back over to the right corner. Titus was out of bounds whenever he made contact, and it will be an inbound for the Conquerors. James Williams going to be the one doing so. Finds Beckwith. Beckwith will bide his time. Cutting over towards that right side. Rostelli there pressuring him up, goes off the ankle of looks like knee-on-knee contact between Sean and Beckwith. They're going to call Sean for the trip. 1-1 for the Conquerors down low in the Panthers zone. If they make the first shot, they will get a shot for a secondary foul free throw. First one goes up and sinks that one as if it was the Titanic. Makes it 2017. Secondary shot goes up and once again capitalizes on the opportunity he was given. 20-18 is the score. 2-point differential is the difference now. The floor is a little slippery, so they're going to ask for a towel to clean that one up here shortly, and both teams will get a little bit of a breather in the meantime. Luke Good going to be the one to mop up a little bit of possibly sweat stain. If not, it's snow melting onto the court from the outside world. Either way, it's going to be a little grippier over there. Yeah. When it comes down to it, the referees are out here to make sure each of the players are safe, whether or not the coaches agree with that. It's one of their main priorities out here. And it looks like we'll be ready to rock and roll back into the midst of things. Roselli going to be the one inbounding this one. Finds this one out towards that neutral zone. Titus picking this one up. Pushed it up by Joseph. Gets this one down towards the baseline. Able to send that one into the middle. Elijah not able to pick that one up. Beckwith coming out the other way. Only one to beat. 2-on-1 opportunity. Shot goes up by Beckwith. Not quite able to score on that one. Comes down. Jacob strips this one free. James there ever so timeout by the Slippery Rock Panthers. 142 remaining in this first half of play. Panthers at 20, Conquerors at 18. It's only a one-shot differential here, same as we ended the first quarter. It's only going to be a 30-second timeout. Coach Mandrell just making sure his team keeps possession of that ball instead of losing that one and possibly having a tie ball game on his hands currently. So far, it seems like both teams are starting to ramp up the intensity. Nonetheless, the fans will react to that thusly with more energetic reactions, which also helps me out because I don't like to be the only person talking in the room and everyone kind of just looking up staring at you because it's quite awkward that way. So when the crowd's loud, I am too. That makes it more exciting. It's going to be Panther inbound on their own baseline. We're just going to play one-on-one for each of the Panther players, finding a Conqueror on their back. Able to find this way to Montana. Montana stolen away by Beckwith in the offensive zone. Montana's going to try to keep pace with him. Not quite able to do so. Breaks free. Gets past Rostelli. Into the zone he goes. Able to get this one over to James. James in the key. Shoots this one up. Not quite able to score. Rostelli going to fight for this one. Able to pick this one off the cherry tree. Bringing this one down the other way on that right lane. Cuts in towards that middle. Slows this one down. Finds Bailey. Bailey on that baseline. Heads in towards that right block. Loses possession of that one. Rostelli there to pick up where he left off. Cuts in towards that middle. Inside the key he goes. Shot goes up. Scores! Extends the lead to 4. Here's Beckwith coming out of his own end. Able to get this one down to the key. Shot goes up. Whistle is blown. Blue 11. White ball on the baseline. That would be John Beckwith called for the foul. I missed the motion of what the foul enforced was, but nonetheless, it will be a Panther inbound on their own baseline. Bailey here to inbound this one. Finds Drew Rostelli on that left side. No imminent danger. 1 minute remaining in this quarter of play. Able to cut down towards that left side. Able to get it in towards that baseline. Finds the left inner corner. Tries to take this one around town. Loses possession. Gets this one free a little bit. We'll pick this one up and keep on trucking. On that left wing, cuts in towards the key. Shot goes up, blocked away by Beckwith. 2 shots will be the result. I might not be the most agreeable on that call. Beckwith called on the block. Beckwith kind of planted his feet, and they're going to call him on the foul. First shot goes up, not quite able to get too lucky on that one. Maybe the second verse will be different.
Come on, boys. Own him, boy.
Secondary shot goes up, hits that shelf, comes down, and makes it a 5-point game. Just under 40 seconds remaining. Beckwith here bringing this one in, gets this one over towards that left side. Brandon there picking that one up. 3-point shot. Not quite able to score on that one. Beckwith with the secondary, hits that rim, comes down to the hands of Elijah. Bobbled around with James Williams. Jacob there to pressure him up, as well as Titus Bailey finds Beckwith. Beckwith for 3. Scores! Very nice shot by number 11 in the navy blue. 18 seconds remaining, and here's Rostelli with it now. Rostelli into the offensive zone. He pushes, able to get this one down inside the zone. Elijah bobbling that one around on the baseline. Shot goes up. Not quite able to score on that one. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that'll be the end of the first half of play. Panthers leading 25-21. We'll take about an 8-minute intermission, and don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, and I'll give you about enough time to grab your gallon of chocolate milk, your map of North Dakota, and we'll be ready to rock and roll when you're back and ready for us. I'll throw a timer up, so if it's not 8 minutes, you'll see shortly. And here we go. Didn't switch the thing. It's third quarter. Hang on. All the wires are tangled up in me. You're gonna have to do it without commentary for like the first, like, I don't know, however, like, couple. 3, 4D, W. Alright. Here's Rastelli bringing this one down that center lane. Panthers shooting right this time around. Conquerors shooting left. Rastelli on that left side, able to send this one down that baseline to Sean. It's going to go off of Sean, and they're going to call that one going down. Conquerors ball on their own baseline. That's my bad. He signaled kind of the other way around. So that kind of threw me through a loop. Here's Sean on that left inner corner, finding the Titus. Shot goes up and scores right off the bat. Panthers make it 27-21, backing off on the offensive, the full court press. Gets us over to James, over to Brandon. Brandon on that right side tries to keep that one towards the neutral zone, lobs this one up and over to the hands of down low. Brandon picking this one up from the pass from Beckwith, finding James, or Joseph out to Beckwith. Beckwith with a shot. There's that one up for 3, not quite able to score. It goes into the hands of Montana. Montana to Sean. Sean to Titus. Titus Bailey handing this one over to Drew. He's number 14, Josiah. Got it. Rastelli bringing this to the offensive zone. Titus for 3. A little too short for the requirements there. They're going to call Elijah on the over the back, and that'll be 5 fouls for Elijah Toth. Jacob Gooding going to come in and will take a spot on defense as well as offense. I believe that to be the only second foul out of the season so far that I've witnessed, the other one being Jill Couvert on the girls' team. Brandon able to send this one back over to Josiah. Josiah down the left side finds Beckwith, able to throw this one down into the key. Brandon's down there somewhere. You can see him just slightly between the legs. Joseph able to get this one over to Beckwith. Shot goes up, not able to score. Montana coming down with that one in trouble down on the baseline. Timeout is called by the Panthers. 30-second timeout by the Panthers, and they will maintain possession whenever we come back. Six minutes, 36 seconds remaining in the game. Panthers at 27 and the Conquerors at 21. Both teams, Panthers, surprisingly, in starting the third quarter, led up on those full court presses after inbounds are made, which will result in a little bit of an easier game out there on the court for both teams. Panthers starting off slow. Maybe they'll ramp it up later in the game. Who's to say? Elijah not being in the game will definitely impact the Panthers. They'll have to fill that hole best they can currently. Maybe we'll see Dunlap, the Jolly Green Giant himself. Maybe we'll see him this game. It should be a white inbound. Panthers called a timeout, so it should be their inbound. They're going to enforce the jump ball rather than the timeout that was called beforehand, so it will be a blue ball in the offensive zone.
Come on, boys.
So the Panthers kind of have a wasted 30-second timeout as the result, and we'll continue on. All right, Conquerors inbound in the Panther zone. See what happens. Conquerors throw this one over towards that key. Picking this one up, Josiah shoots, not able to score on that one. Beckwith with the secondary, able to shoot that one up and scores. You can feel the tension rising on the Panthers bench. Rastelli bringing this one into the offensive zone, cuts over towards that left side, stops on that left three-point line, finds Titus. Titus bounces this one back down to Rastelli. A shot goes up for 3. Scores! Holy smoke, beautiful shot. Beautiful placement, nothing but confidence out there on the court for Rastelli. Bringing this one down, James Williams able to get this one down outside that outside the key. Finds James after Beckwith passes out one, hits that shelf, comes down. Beckwith's secondary shot does end up going in. Here's Rostelli bringing this one into the offensive zone. No imminent danger as there's not too much of a full court press going on currently. Rostelli cuts over towards that left wing. Hits that three-point line, keeps on trucking after Brandon jumps at him. Able to get this one down low. Beckwith picks this one off, coming out the other way. Hits that half-court line. Bailey taking a swing at that one. Not able to hit that one. Hits the key. Gets this one out to James. They're going to call a foul on the Panthers defense. Wait, 44 on the foul. I'm not sure who. Oh, Drew Rostelli. He's called for the foul. First shot, not quite able to sink that one down. 5:31 remaining in this third quarter of play. Let's see how the rest of this transpires. Shot goes up, hits the shelf, comes down to the hands of Sean. Sean underneath his own hoop, finds Rostelli. Rostelli's going to bring this one out. 5 points differential currently. Crowd's fired up like a hamster on Red Bull right now. Cutting over towards that right side, hits that right wing, cuts back towards the middle. Shot goes up for three, a little too far to the left. Sean with the secondary, gets that one up into the air, not able to score. Beckwith able to tower over the rest of them, picking this one up. Brings this one down that right side of the court. Just over 5 minutes remaining in this third quarter of play. Cuts over towards that left side. Beckwith shoots and scores. Rostelli going to bring this one out of his own end. 3-point differential this time around. Kind of keeps into the middle lane of the court. Josiah swings at that one, hits a little bit more of the body rather than the ball, cuts down towards that baseline. Gets blocked up a little bit, finds Sean regardless. Shot goes up, not quite able to score as it bobbles around, comes down to the hands of Beckwith. Beckwith's going to lob this one down. Rostelli gets this one over to Bailey. Bailey going to bring this one out for the Panthers. First it up by Joseph, spins around. Brandon there jumping at that one. Titus able to find Montana on that left wing, brings this one down into the offensive zone. Stops, shoots for two. Not quite able to score on that one. James Williams there to pick that one up, finds Beckwith across the court, and he will bring this one out for the Conquerors. 4:20 remaining in the third quarter of play, brings this one down to the offensive zone, blocked away by Jacob. Shot goes up by Joseph and scores. 1 point differential now. Panthers going to bring this one out. Rostelli there, hugging over towards that left side of the court. First it up by Brandon. Trying to find any pocket he can get into the offensive zone. Shot goes up, hits the backboard, falls back down. Drew trying to find any possible direction he can shoot that one. I heard the words uttered 8 seconds out there in the court. I'm not sure what rule pertains to 8 seconds, but it will be coming out Conqueror ball. James able to get this one over towards that right side. Brandon picking this one up. Cuts this one back over towards that left side. Joseph picking this one up where it lays. Weaves in and out of that three-point line. Finds it towards that right side. Josiah with a shot. And scores for three. Very beautiful shot by number 14 out there on the court. Makes it 32-30. That'll be a timeout by the Panthers. Panthers at 30. Conquerors at 32. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in this third quarter of play. Minute timeout by the Panthers. Mandrell will try and give his team an encouraging word on the bench as the recent events not quite in favor of the team in white. Rather, they're in favor of the Conquerors. Conquerors, they're just making the most of the opportunities they're given, regardless of where they come from, whether it's a mess up or a call out there on the court. They're just trying their hardest out there. And in the end of the day, most basketball games come down to whoever wants it more ends up walking away with the W. Both teams out there very even on the skill balance, so it makes for an exciting game. Question is, who starts the full court presses first? Because those normally turn into a few 2-point conversions out there, but it does require a lot more effort. Panther inbound on their own baseline. Panther shooting right, and the Conquerors are shooting left. Montana here inbounding this one over to Rostelli. Rostelli going to bring this one on under his own volition. Josiah and Brandon there to meet him at that point. Cuts over towards that left side is Rostelli. Rostelli able to get this one to Montana. Montana shoots for two. Scores! Tying it right back up where it stopped. Here's James Williams bringing this into the offensive zone. Gets out one to the right side. Brandon there picking that one up. Brandon cuts in towards that middle, able to get not quite able to shoot that one off as it's blocked away right out top of that key. Bailey going to bring this one out for the Panthers. Able to get that to the left side. Takes that shot, goes in towards the baseline. Shot goes up by Sean. Not quite able to score. Jacob swinging at that one, picks that one up. Shot goes up, swatted away. They're going to call that one nothing but ball, and it will be a white ball.
Keep after him, boys. Frustrated. Keep after him.
Montana here to inbound this one. Looking down inside the key, looking back outside. Sean there outside the arms of Beckwith. Shot goes up, lanes out of bounds, and it will be a Conqueror inbound on their own baseline. 2:43 remaining in the third quarter of play, and I'm trying my very hardest to be unbiased. Here's James Williams, bringing this to the offensive zone, finds it over towards that right side. Picking this one up is Josiah, bounces this one out to Brandon, but bounces off of his left shoulder and into the hands of Joseph. Joseph shoots for two. Not quite able to score on that one. Beckwith swings at that one, but Rosselli comes up with it out of the scrum of things. 2:22 remaining in the third quarter of play. Rosselli brings us into the offensive zone, cuts over towards that right side of the court. Josiah there to keep pace with him. Whistle is blown. Block is called.
Good work. Good work. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it.
We're going to call Josiah on the foul in this case and scenario.
Watch his numbers, Critter. Watch his numbers. Where it goes, he goes.
Montana looking for the inbound, finds it over to Rosselli. Rosselli going to take his time out towards that three-point line. Bides his time, cuts over towards that left side. Able to throw that one over towards that right side. Montana shoots for two. Not quite able to score on that one. Sean fights for that one, but comes up with this one. He's going to have his foot on the line, and the person to do so is Joseph Williams. And it will be a Panther inbound on the baseline. Titus Bailey going to be the one to do so. 2:01 remaining in the third quarter. Play tie ball game, 32 apiece. Goes off Josiah and out of bounds. Kind of drops the shoulder into the concrete wall, and I hope he's okay. Titus Bailey to get a retry at this inbound. Tries to get this one over to Rosselli.
Go, boys. Stay with it. Stay with it.
Final point of contact was Josiah, deemed by the refs, and it will be a Panther inbound. Titus Bailey here going to be the one to do so. Looks in towards that. It looks in between the legs. Tries to get this one out towards that half-court line. Able to find Rosselli. Rosselli inside the zone he goes. Shot goes up in the key. Scores! Taking away that lead, 34-32. Inbound goes straight down into the offensive zone for the Panthers. Shot goes up, trying to answer right off the bat, but not able to do so. Joseph swings at that one, trying to recover his own shot, and will come out Panther ball. 1:40 remaining in this third quarter of play. Rosselli chucks this one over towards that left corner, able to get this one down to Sean from Titus. Shot goes up, not quite able to score. Hits herself, comes down to Montana. Montana controls that one, comes out to Rosselli. Rosselli fakes that shot, goes in towards that point, and decides to head on back out. Finds that left corner. Shot goes up by Titus Bailey. Not quite able to score on that one. Swinging at that one. Not quite able to contain that one. James Williams going to bring this one out of his own zone over to Beckwith. Shot goes up inside the key. And scores. Makes it 34-34. Drew Rosselli here with it now. Going to bring this into the offensive zone. Calm and steady. Throws that one over to Montana. Montana trickles that one, but gains possession after a short while. As he finds Rosselli. Rosselli on the right wing gets inside the three-point line, able to throw that one over to James, but not able to send that one home. Coming out the other way, Beckwith shoots. And scores. Takes away that lead from the Panthers. 45 seconds remaining, and it's a 36-34 game now in favor of the Conquerors. Coming out the other way, Rosselli here taking this one calm as a cucumber out there on the court. Looks over towards his right side, then his left, trying to assess the best situation and the best way to attack. Hands this one over to Titus. Titus on that far corner in a little bit of trouble. Able to break free down the baseline. Shot goes up. Not quite able to score. Jacob not able to score in the secondary. Sean with the third. Scores! Tying it back up. 36-36. 20 seconds remaining. Beckwith going to inbound this one. Williams going to bring this one down. Slow and steady. Full aware of what time is on that clock. Able to get this one over to Brandon. Brandon outside that three-point line, taking his time, looking for any opportunity. Finds Joseph into Beckwith. Beckwith looking for... Shot goes up, not quite able to score. 1.5 seconds remaining, coming out Panther ball. Let's see what happens. It's where the first point of possession is made after it hits the court. That's where it starts up. It'll be a Conquerors ball in the offensive zone over on that sideline. Or are they going to bring it back where it was thrown in? They're going to bring it back down to the baseline. 1.5 seconds. Time started. They're going to call that one done. That'll be the end of the third quarter. We got a 1-minute intermission. 36-36 is the score. Don't go anywhere. We got a beautiful ball game coming up right after these 60 seconds expire. All right, I got to do a few things to the audio, so we're going to cut back a little early. All right, looks like we're... All right, looks like both teams are ready to jump out there, ready to rock and roll. 8 minutes on the clock, final 8 minutes remaining in this game. 36-36, Panthers shooting right, Conquerors shooting to the left. Bailey going to be the one inbounding this one, and Rostelli going to be there receiving it here shortly. Able to find Rostelli. Rostelli's going to bring this one into the offensive zone. Able to get that one to the left side. There, three-point shot by Montana, not quite able to score. Goes off Sean into the hands of Bailey. Bailey trying to take this one out around his back. Falls out of bounds off the Panther hand, and it will be a Conqueror inbound on the baseline. Here's James Williams going to be the one inbounding this one. 7:47 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Tie ball again, 36-36, tied up as if it was a hog in a rodeo. Going to bring this one down. James Williams going to be the man to do it. Looking over towards that right side of the court. Cuts in towards that middle. Able to find Beckwith. Shoots and scores. Making it 38-36. How do I do the thing? There it is. All right, Rostelli is going to bring this one down slow and steady. Going to try to keep control of the situation at hand. Two point guards there to meet with him. Able to cut it over towards that right side. Gets a little bit of elbow room. Gets around Luke and finds Beckwith. Goes off Beckwith and out of bounds it falls. Panther inbound on the Conquerors baseline. 7:18 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. 38-36 in favor of the Conquerors, and Montana's going to be the one inbounding this one. Finds Rostelli on that right inner corner, cuts over towards that right wing, brings it out top to the point, looks back towards the right side of the court, cuts left, shot goes up for three, not able to score. Montana getting a hand on that one, stealing away by James Williams, able to get this one down low. Joseph shoots this one up, not able to score, comes down into the hands of the Panthers. Rostelli fighting over this one with James, and it will be a jump ball. It'll be a Conqueror ball on the baseline. Here's James Williams here to inbound this one. James chucks this one out towards that point. Here's Beckwith, cuts over towards that right side inside the three-point line. Shot goes up and not quite able to score, but Sean able to pick this one up where it lays, able to find this one over to Rostelli on that left side of the court. 6:50 remaining in this fourth and final quarter of play. 2-point differential in favor of the Conquerors. Here's Rostelli cutting over towards that left side, hitting that three-point line, bounces this one down to Sean. Sean shoots, bobbles around, and comes out of the rim. Shoots this one down. Joseph with no one to beat. Shot goes up and brings it up to 40-36, and it will be a Panther inbound hereafter. Rostelli coming down into the offensive zone towards that middle lane, able to roll this one over to Montana, and Jacob will dive after that one, but nonetheless it will fall out of bounds. Conquerors ball on their own baseline. Beckwith goes into James Williams. Williams going to bring this one down. The reason I don't refer to Williams as his last name, Joseph and James are both named with the last name Williams. James throws this one out, called for the travel, and it will be a Panther ball in their own defensive zone. 6:05 remaining in the fourth quarter of play. 36 for the Panthers, 40 for the Conquerors, and Bailey here to inbound this one over to Rostelli. Rostelli into the offensive zone, takes his time, looking for the best method to attack, building his tactics in his own mind, able to get this one down to the baseline. Shot goes up, reverse layup, not quite able to score, and that one goes off Beckwith into the hands of Sean, bouncing this one over to Bailey. Bailey with a shot, not quite able to score, goes off the hand of Luke, and out of bounds it falls, and it will be a Panther inbound on the baseline. Montana going to be the one inbounding this one. I'm going to figure out how the zoom button works on the camera, and we'll be all spiffy jiffy. Montana finds this one over to Rostelli outside that three-point line. He kind of treads over towards that wing, heading up towards that point, but cuts back down. Stopped up on the three-point line, able to throw that one down to Jacob. Jacob outside the three-point line, treads over towards that right outer corner, finds Montana, shoots. Not able to get enough buster on that one. Foul is called on Beckwith. They're going to call Luke number 13 on the Conquerors side for the foul, rather. First shot, not the luckiest in the world. Maybe the second one will be will ring a little nicer. Secondary shot does go up, hits that rim, comes back down. Jacob there, vigilant as ever, able to find the rebound and takes that one to the house, making it 38-40. Bringing this one down, James Williams able to cut over towards that right side. Rostelli there to make a little bit of pressure, able to find Beckwith. Shot goes up, hits that rim, comes back down. Secondary shot, able to score on that one. And that'll be a beautiful answer to the Panthers' 2 points with two of the Conquerors' own. About 5 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Able to get this one over to Bailey. Shoots this one up for 3. Not able to get enough mustard to get it to the rim. Shot goes up by Sean. Scores! Beautiful play by the Panthers, bringing this one back within 2. Here's James Williams going to bring this one back down the court for the Conquerors team. Able to chuck this one over to Joseph. Joseph outside the three-point line. Shoots this one up. Not able to score. It's a little too far left of the rim. Coming out, Montana. Montana breaks away from out of the crowd. Shot. Scores! Ties it up like a hog in a rodeo. 42-42 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Here's Williams bringing this into the offensive zone. Able to find a little bit of leadway. Shot goes up. Not able to score, but does draw the foul. On the floor, on the baseline, no foul shot will be taken. Going to call Rostelli on the arm. James throws this one out. Joseph to Beckwith. Shot goes up for 3. Hits the rim, falls down after the backboard's contact as well as the rim. Luke and Sean both making contact at the same time, just holding that in the air. Panthers just get their own inbound on the baseline, and the Conquerors will back off. No full court press quite yet in the game. It is a tie ball game, so whoever has the most effort out there on the court to give will probably take this one home. 4 minutes, 6 seconds remaining. Here's Rostelli finding this one over to Bailey. Bailey outside the three-point line, shoots this one up, hits that rim, comes back down, goes off Sean. Jacob good, shoots, scores! Brings the lead right back to the Panthers. Chucks that one down for all it's worth. Beckwith not able to pass that one down to Joseph for an effective play. I was wondering what Jacob Good was doing there for a second. 3:43 remaining. Rostelli into the offensive zone, finds Bailey outside that left corner. Shot goes up, and whistle is blown. Going to call Rostelli for the charge. Blue ball on their own baseline. That's Rostelli's 4th, I believe. So Rostelli might be having to play this one a little bit more safe for the final 3.5 minutes of the game. I saw Luke Good signal to the coachman drill the amount of fouls, so that's a definite 4 fouls for Rostelli. Williams able to shoot this one up, not able to score on that one, but he does draw the foul on this one. Foul will be on Sean. Called for the shot block, not touching the ball, but rather the arm. Has a chance to tie the ball game up with these 2 shots. First one's a little too far left and a little too short to make the money, take the money to the bank. Maybe the second first will be a little better. I need a thesaurus. Shot goes up, and nothing but net to send that one home for 1. Brings the game with, well, to a 1-point differential. Here's Rostelli going to bring this one up for the guys in gray. Hugging over towards that left side of the court, cuts back in towards the middle, able to find a little bit of leadway. Beckwith there to keep pace with him, gets on the baseline, shot goes up, hits the backboard, comes down off Sean, over to Rostelli, over to Montana. Montana shoots. Not able to score. Beckwith gaining possession after that shot is made. Beckwith gets this one down low, able to find Joseph. Joseph passes this one across the key. Shot denied by Sean. James Williams going to be the one inbounding this one as the ball's last contact was James. Or not James, but Sean. Able to throw this one out to Beckwith. Beckwith outside that left wing, able to take this one inside the key. Shot goes. Going to call for the charge. That'll be against Beckwith. The defender planted his feet. Planted his foundation. He didn't quite move his feet. He took the brunt of that one. And, yeah. Rather than be called for the block on the defense, it'll be called for the charge on the offense. Rosselli going to cut over towards that right side of the court, finding a pick, gets a little bit of leeway, finds Jacob down low. Whistle is blown, called for the jump ball, and it will be a Conqueror ball on their own baseline. Beckwith going to be the one inbounding this one. 2:44 remaining in the game. 43 for the Conquerors, 44 for the Panthers. I have everything in order. Sweet. Here's Williams bringing this into the offensive zone, able to get it over towards his brother, not able to keep control of that one, but Luke able to gain possession after the fact. Heads back over towards that point, gets this one down the left side, goes off the foot of Jacob Gooden, and it will fall out of bounds. It will be a Conqueror inbound to the left side of the offensive drive. Able to get this one in. Montana taking this one away. He's got a shot to make it a three-point differential. Not able to keep possession of that one down into the offensive zone. It will be an inbound for the Conquerors as the result. We have two substitutions, Brandon and is his name Brandon or Braden? Brandon coming onto the court, number 1. Going off the court is Luke as well as Ethan. Josiah being the other one to substitute on. Brandon there on that right side picks this one up from James Williams. Going to cut over towards that left side. Finds Joseph off his left knee cap into the hands that comes. Brandon with a shot. Not able to score. James Williams down low. Jacob able to swat that one out of bounds. No foul is called. Inbound on the baseline for the Conquerors team. And we'll pick up play where it left off. 2:09 remaining in this fourth quarter. Fly finds Beckwith back to James Williams. Shot goes up. Not able to score. It goes off of the hands. Who are they going to call this off of? They're going to call this one off Beckwith, and it will be a Panther inbound. Rosselli going to bring this one down to the offensive zone. 2 minutes remaining in the game. 1-point differential. It's anybody's game. You can't call either of these teams out in this current situation. Rosselli able to get this one over to Montana. Montana outside for 3. Not able to score on that one. Sean with the secondary hits that near side of the rim and falls down. No one to beat. Whistle is blown. And that has to be the 4th foul for Rosselli. So maybe now he'll play more conservative out of anything. Inbound on the Conquerors baseline for the team in the navy blue. 1:48 remaining. 1-point differential. Any shot can change the tide of the game. Here's Brandon bringing this to the offensive zone. Gets this head for 2. Not quite able to score. Beckwith with the secondary. Sends it up. Not able to score on that one. Sean gets a hand on that one. James is the last point of contact. And it will be a Panther inbound on the baseline. 1:35 remaining in this fourth and final quarter of play. Here's Drew Estelli with it now. Going to bring this one out of his own zone. Hits at half-court line. And he's going to be met up by Josiah. Montana able to give him a little bit of elbow room down inside the right block. Able to throw this one into the key, but bringing this one out is Brandon. Montana and Jacob able to recover for the defensive team. Able to get this one out towards the point. James Williams going to bring this one up. Gets this one over to Brandon. Shot goes up. Not able to score on that one. Beckwith with the secondary. Throws it up. Not able to score. James recovers it for the Conquerors. Chases after that one like a man running after a donut after not eating for 2 weeks. Shot goes up. Not able to hit. Hits the shelf. Comes down. Joseph gets his own rebound. 57 seconds remaining. Whistle is blown. Blue number 5 called for the foul. That is Joseph Williams. Panthers get an inbound on their own baseline, and it is still a 1-point difference. And it's got me shaking in my baby seal leather boots. I'm so nervous up here. 52 seconds remaining. I'll try to keep the time in the frame of the video. Drew Rosselli over towards that left side. Bailey gets this one, but stolen away by Joseph. Joseph down the other way. Only one to beat. Shot hits the side of the backboard. Beckwith scores! 45 for the Conquerors. They're in a full court press. The Panthers. Drew Rosselli going to be caught right around that half court area. Panthers will call a timeout. 30 seconds remaining. Just nothing but excitement out there on the court for these final minutes. Just still a 1-point differential. This time the lead's just turned around. The Conquerors are going to come out there giving it all they've got for the final 30 seconds. Getting a little bit of breather. Both teams regaining their oxygen as we speak. Yeah, it's been the most exciting game so far this season for the guys. It's one of the closest that you can ever get in a game. The only way it'd be closer is if they were tied, which still can be a situation that they're in if a foul is called and one of the two shots are made and the buzzer does tick down. We will have our first overtime, I think, in Panther history, or at least Slippery Rock Sports Network history. I don't believe we've ever had an overtime match in basketball. Football, there's been plenty in the playoffs that I can remember, just never on the broadcast. So this might be a first time that history is made in that area.
No score! No score! No score!
All right, Montana going to inbound this one for the Panthers at that half-court line. Brandon there, going to try to block that one away after the initial pass. Montana chucks this one down to Sean, but goes off James and out of bounds. Wastes about 0.5 seconds off that clock, 29.4 remaining in the game. Montana going down a little bit farther towards their offensive zone, able to get this one to Jacob. Able to take possession down the baseline. He goes, shot goes up, whistle is blown. A block is called for James Williams. He took the brunt of that hit. That's pretty brutal. 42 called on the Conquerors team, which is, in fact, James Williams. First one, ties it up. Very nice. Secondary, a little too far left. I'm going to say the ball never touched the rim, therefore it will be an inbound for the Conquerors. 26.1 second. We got a tie ball game here, ladies and gentlemen. James Williams able to get this one into Beckwith. Beckwith going to bring this one down, back over to James, over to Beckwith once more. Able to get this one down low. Joseph with a shot, blocked away by Sean. Able to get this one to Brandon. Out top it goes. Beckwith with a shot. Not able to score on that one. Josiah picking this one up. 12 seconds remaining. Beckwith gets this one into the zone. Jacob Good bringing this one away. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going into overtime. We do play overtime, right? I'm not just imagining things, correct? Miss Simmons is a little riled up as the Conquerors crowd was making vocal efforts as the foul shots were made by Jacob, and Miss Simmons is just pleading the case that the Panthers are respectful whenever the other team is shooting. Here's James Beckwith with a 1-and-1. Goes up, not able to score the first. He'll call for the jump ball. How do I type on this keyboard? It's upside down. O-V-E-R-T. Where's I? M-E. K-R-A-B-B-Y-P-A-T-T-Y spells I. Alright. Does that look good? Is that in the middle? Sure. Why not? Yeah, that's middle enough. Alright, we got 4 minutes on the game clock. Yeah, this has never happened. Who's to say what's going to be the outcome? Whoever makes the best of their situation, whatever opportunity arises, first person to take the opportunity will most likely take home the cake. I don't know what else to say. We're going to give both teams a little bit of time to regain their oxygen. And yeah. Oh, wait. It's because I hit shift. That's why it added this thing. It's 45-45. You guys know that. I didn't do that intentionally. It's because I hit shift to capitalize the O in overtime. Because how I have it set up is if I hit shift and control, it adjusts the thing. I could take time and explain that. So the little thing here, this keeps track of it, and if I hit Z, it switches between, and I can add and take away the thing. It's called death counter. Its purpose isn't what I use it for. It's made for whenever people live stream video games, they can keep track of certain counters, whether it's how many times you've died in the game, how many kills you've gotten, things of that nature. I'm using it in a completely different sense, but it works for the sense I use it for. So, yeah. All right, both teams ready to rock and roll. It looks like FCA will be shooting to the right, Panthers shooting left. We'll have a jump ball in the middle. Panthers shooting right, Conquerors shooting left. Beckwith and Sean will be the ones in the jump ball circle. And we'll rock and roll. Beckwith gets this one over to James. James, we're going to bring this one down to the offensive zone. Able to find this one to the right side. Josiah with a shot. Hits the rim, comes down, goes off James, over to Rostelli. Rostelli bobbles that one around. Jacob and Sean fight over that one. Joseph gets into the scrum of things and brings it up, but it will be a jump ball coming down Panther ball. On the run baseline. 3:50 remaining in this final overtime period of play. And here's Drew Rostelli. Rostelli taking his time, goes over towards that left side. Bailey gets this one down the baseline. Sean shoots. Scores! Brings it up to 47-45. Here's James Williams down into the offensive zone. Finds it over towards that right side. Brandon going to take this one down with a little bit of fire in his footstep. Tries to get Josiah, but Sean keeps this one alive over to Bailey. Bailey keeps possession of that one. Gets this one down low. Rostelli trying to pick this one up. Not able to do so. Trickles out of bounds. Coach Mandrell was trying to call a timeout. None of the refs heard him, and it will be an inbound on the baseline. 3:22 remaining in this overtime period. After this is over, the victor will be deemed. James going to bring this to the offensive zone. Inside the three-point line, he treads over towards that left side, throws a pass out. No one there to pick that one up, and it will be a Panther inbound in their own defensive end. 3:11 remaining in the overtime period. Here's Rostelli going to bring this one out of his own zone. You got a plan. Whether we see it unfold or if he changes it up, will be, all right, it kind of just dissolved like cardboard in water. Pass intended for Bailey kind of trickles off his left hand and out of bounds. Beckwith inbounds to James, and he will bring it out of his own zone. James gets this one over towards that right side. Bailey picking this one off. He's going to take this one down, keeping an eye on his surroundings, seeing where he can go with this one. Shot goes up. Scores! Alley-oop! He's got a hoot. Sure because it rhymes. You see what it did there? I'm proud of that one. Here's Beckwith looking down into the offensive drive. Finds Josiah. A little bit of hand to the face. Action is going to be deemed by the referee on Sean. Number 33 on the Panther team being Sean. It'll be an inbound on the baseline of the Panthers zone for the Conquerors.
Come on, Critter.
They're going to signal for the 1-and-1. If he makes the first, he gets a shot for a secondary. If he fails either of the shots, it will just be business as usual. First one hits the rim, falls down after the backboard is met. Beckwith with a secondary. Makes it a 2-point conversion. 47-49, Panthers leading by 2. This period is only not even halfway over. We're only a minute 30 into this. Here's Montana down in the offensive zone. Inside the key, gets this one over to Sean. Sean shoots. Hits his near side of the rim. Beckwith picking this one up inside his own key. Gets this one over to Joseph. Joseph down to the offensive zone. Loses possession over to Brandon. Shoots. Almost. Goes off Bailey and out of bounds. Conquerors inbound on the baseline. 2:12 remaining in the overtime period of play. 49 for the Panthers, 47 for the Conquerors. And everything is in order. Here's the inbound by James Williams over towards that right corner, getting this back over to James. James tries to back his way into the hoop, but taken away is a pass intended for Brandon Rostelli. You're going to bring this one down into the offensive zone. Outside that three-point line, stops up. Brandon there as aggressive as ever, as a wombat attacking a piece of fruit, as a moth looking for a lamp, able to get this one over to Montana. Montana shoots. Called for the travel. It'll be a Conqueror inbound on their own baseline. 1:51 remaining in this overtime period of play. 2-point differential. One shot can result in a tsunami of momentum for the team. Beckwith down low. Joseph picking that one up back to Beckwith. Scores! Makes it 49-49. 1:40 remaining in this final quarter of play. Well, not even a quarter. It's a final section of time that's transpiring, and that'll be a timeout for the Panthers. 30-second timeout, trying to give his boys a little bit of time to get a strategy together. 1:34 remaining in the game. 49-49 is the score. Both teams just fighting for inches out there. It's like it's the final innings of the Super Bowl, and none of that made any sport ball sense, but that's what it is. It's the final innings of this football game. Both teams fighting for inches out there on the court. Every little nook and cranny they can find a positive feed into the game. They're going to take every inch of that. Beckwith and Rostelli looking like the two all-stars out there on the court. It might come down to their efforts alone. Rostelli only has one foul remaining, but there's only 30 seconds left. So now's not a time to be conservative in any way. There's a minute 30 seconds remaining in the game, so now's not quite the best time to be conservative with your play once it comes into the final half minute. Referee, I couldn't make out what he was saying. He had his back turned. I'm sorry. The referee was informing Mandrell of something, and if we find out, it'll be in the description after this video has been posted. Rostelli going to take this inbound, and he's going to take it calm and cool as ever. Beckwith there to try to keep pace with him, able to try to drive down, finds Bailey, shoots! A little too short to score on that one. Williams going to bring this one down. Got someone loose down low. Jacob Good's going to run back and try to defend against him. Stops him up for a second, but he shoots right nonetheless. Jacob bobbles that one out of bounds. It falls. It will remain Conqueror ball. 1:15 remaining in this final overtime period of play. And James Williams will be the one to inbound this one. James bounces this one down into the key. Joseph looking to get this one out. Finds Brandon. Brandon shoots for three. Not able to score on that one. Goes off Jacob into the hands of James. Out to Josiah. Over to Beckwith. Beckwith shoots for two. A little too short on that one. Rostelli going to bring this one out of his own zone. 1 minute remaining. 57 seconds to be exact. And Rostelli will bring this under his own volition towards that right wing. Able to get this one into the middle, but Beckwith going to pick that one off. Josiah loses that one to Montana. Montana with one to beat. That one being James Williams. Shot goes up. A little too hasty on that one. Rostelli going to try to strip this one away. Coming out Conqueror ball on their own baseline as the jump ball is enforced. 42.7 seconds remaining. Tie ball game. 49-49. We got a very exciting matchup here between these two teams. 40 seconds remaining, and as the final 10 seconds, either they'll be on screen. Bailey bringing this one away from Brandon. Bailey bobbling this one up is Josiah. Brandon tries to keep possession, able to do so over to James. James Williams going to bring this one out of his own zone. Hits that half-court line in towards that three-point line. He goes, and they're able to get this one to Beckwith. Shoots. Not able to score. Montana able to swat this one to Sean, and picking this one up is Bailey, handling this one over to Rostelli. 15 seconds remaining. The crowd is just fired up. They're hyped up like a hamster on Red Bull right now. 10 seconds remaining. Bailey going to drive towards that right side, cuts back towards the point. The defense trying their hardest. Whistle is blown. Number 14 is called for the push on the Conquerors team. Josiah trying his hardest, loses his glasses in the process. Referee just making sure he's okay. 1-and-1 is signaled, but it will be an inbound in the offensive zone for the Panthers. 3.4 seconds remaining. 49-49. Next point wins. Gets this one over to Rostelli. Up against Beckwith. 2-1. Not able to score on that one, and the ball has left the building. And will that be the conclusion, or will we go into a sudden death opportunity? I'm not sure. We've never explored this territory beforehand. So, yeah. Every time FCA comes up against the Panthers, whether it's volleyball or basketball, it's always a beautiful game to behold. It's always high impact, high intensity out there in the court, and it looks like we'll just continue this on as if it's a Stanley Cup final. Just throwing on an extra few minutes. 4 extra minutes will be played. Whoever is on top will be deemed the victor. All right, they're just going to chuck the ball right back out. That's Spiffy Jiffy in my book. Perhaps we'll see more full court presses after a point is made or an inbound. Who's to say? It might come down to who's the most aggressive team. It seems like both teams kind of took the mutual agreement to back off on the full court presses after the first half was over. Even though it was being deemed effective, it was a very high impact game, high tension both ways around. Yeah, how much longer do I have to fill in? Either way, it's been a beautiful game between these two teams. No matter who comes out on top, yeah. It started off a little rocky both ways around. Oh, I believe only 19. No, it wasn't even 19 points. Might have been, it was like 15 points total scored in the first quarter of play. And now we're at pretty much 50s. We're at 198 points scored in this game alone. And by the end of this, it might be a total of 100. Wait, did I say 190? It's only 98 points scored. I know how to math. I just choose not to do it most of the time. Panther shooting right. Conqueror shooting left. Beckwith and Sean in this jump ball circle. Going up. Sean getting a hand on that one. Kind of canceling out each other. Sean making contact with that one. It will come out Conqueror ball. James Whelan is going to be the one inbounding this one. Finding Beckwith. Going to bring this one down through the offensive zone. Cuts over towards that left side of the court, able to get this one down. Joseph shooting and scores, making it 51-49. Montana throwing this one into Drew. Drew going to take this one over towards that left side. Bailey outside the three-point line, looking to take this one back out top. Called for the double dribble, and out of frustration, he makes a two-point bucket. James able to send this one into John Beckwith. Beckwith bringing this one out under his own volition. Trying to quarterback the play. Rustilli there eyeing him up like he's the last Krispy Kreme on the table. Shot goes up by Beckwith. Hits the front part of the rim after the backboard. James coming out with that one over to Joseph. Shoots for two. Scores! Makes it 53-49. Rustilli bringing this one out of his own zone. 3:16 remaining. Plenty of time to come back. 4 points is nothing in that time frame. Rustilli shoots, scores! Brings it right back, answers those 4 points with two of his own. 51-53 on that scoreboard. I'm just spouting out numbers as if it makes sense. Sean taking this pass away, intended for Luke into the offensive zone on the left block. Shoots this one up, not able to score on that one. Jacob Good keeping possession of that one. Whistle is blown. I don't know what the referee's calling, so will be a Conqueror inbound. I won't assume any calls to be made. So yeah, I can't really assume what that was. He didn't really signal it. Anyway, back with throwing this in, and Sean getting a hand on that one to Bailey. It goes. Bailey going to bring this one out on the right side of the court. Keeping pace with him is Ethan. Ethan steals this one away, goes off of the defense, and it will go out of bounds. Should be a Panther ball, as I think the referee signaled for a Conqueror ball. It will remain Panther ball in the offensive zone. On that baseline will be where the inbound is taken. Bailey looking for an opportunity, finds Rustilli outside that three-point line. Beckwith jumps to block that shot. Too short on that first shot. Second shot attempt. Not able to score on that one as he kind of has to push off Beckwith. 2:27, one man to beat. Shot goes down to Joseph. And the second, or that first shot, not quite able to send that one home. Rustilli picking up the pieces where they lay. Rustilli gets this one down low. Titus Bailey weaves in and out of the defense. Shot goes up, scores! And that's a tie ball game. As a result of that play, 53-53. This is the highest scoring game we've had all season. 2 minutes remaining in this second overtime period of play. Beckwith into the zone. He goes Joseph with a shot, and that'll bring back the lead to the Conquerors side of the court. 55-53. 10 seconds to answer those last points by the Panthers. Very good offense by the Conquerors. Over towards that left side, he hovers. Titus with a shot. Not able to score. It's a little too short for the requirements. Finds Rustilli's Montana's pass. Shot goes up. The secondary shot, not able to score. Third shot of the drive. Three-pointer. Not able to score on that one either. Montana picks it up back where it was left off. Rustilli handling this one over to Rustilli. Rustilli bounces this one into Jacob. Jacob shoots this one up and scores. Makes it a tie ball game once again. 1:15 remaining in this fifth period of play. Sixth period, my bad. Joseph gets it down in the key, shoots this one up, blocked away. They're going to call that one clean as a whistle. Coming out, Panther ball off the offense. It trickles. That is only what the referee instated. That is not what I believe happened. Here's Rostelli going to bring this one out of his own zone, under his own volition. 1 minute remaining in this 6th quarter of play, double overtime. Able to handle this one over towards that left side. Keeping this one alive is Rostelli over to Jacob. Able to get this one over to Bailey. Bailey down the baseline, looks for an opportunity, finds Jacob, but it goes off his hand into the hands of Luke. Swatted away. They're going to call for a push. Jacob called for the push. Jacob Good being the one caught with his hand in the cookie jar, and it's going to come down. 46.3 seconds remaining in the game, possibly. Supposed to be a 1-and-1 or 2 foul shots as the result. 1-and-1 is the signal, and if he makes the first one, you'll get a shot for a second one. If not, either shot is failed. It will be business as usual. Luke's shot, first one hits the right side. Beckwith brings that one back into the zone. Shot goes up and scores. 43 seconds remaining. Let's see how the Panthers react to this. Rostelli bringing this one out. Beckwith there to try to keep pace with them best he can. Rostelli gets this one to the offensive zone. Cuts in towards that left side. Gets this one over to Bailey. Bailey bounces this one down to Sean. Sean shoots. Not able to score on that one. Jacob swats this one into the hands of Beckwith. Beckwith pressured up by Sean. 26 seconds remaining. Sean there, the only one on the Panthers team playing aggressive at this point in time. They need to play as aggressive as ever. Sean only the one out there keeping wary of what time it is on that scoreboard. 2 shots will be the result of the play. Which side is on? 21 is the foul. Was Titus even in the play? Timeout by the Conquerors. We got a 1 minute timeout. 15 seconds remaining in the period in this final. Double overtime, possibly, if the lead is still held by the Conquerors at the end of these 15 seconds. That'll be the end of the game. Panthers have an opportunity to return with 2 points of their own, possibly. It's 15 seconds. Depending on how these foul shots go, it might put this one out of reach. Both teams out there just playing their hearts out, leaving it all out there on the court. So far, no teeth have been lost. Yeah. So far, no teeth have been lost. I got 30 seconds to say whatever I can come up with, and I'm coming up with a loss. I'm just slack-jawed at the amount of intense gameplay out there, out on the court. Is it considered gameplay? I figured it would. It's a game they're playing. It's gameplay. That's the term it is in the esports world. So it's gameplay. I believe Luke will. Who's going to be the one taking the foul shots? It might be Beckwith. John Beckwith, number 11 on the Conquerors team, going to be shooting these foul shots for you guys in navy blue. First one, sinks that one down, makes it a 3-point separation. Secondary shot, able to throw that one up, hits the near side of the rim, comes over to Rostelli. Rostelli bringing this one down, 13 seconds remaining. I'll count it down for you. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's the end of the double overtime game, ladies and gentlemen. 58 for the Conquerors, 55 for the Panthers. And that'll be the end of the matchup. Beautiful game between both teams playing their heart out. Panthers and the Conquerors, it's always a beautiful match to see these two Titans out there on the court just duking it out, giving it all they've got out there. Beckwith, definitely one of the main stars of the match, number 11 from the Conquerors team. He's our McDonald's player of the game, even though we're not endorsed by McDonald's. He's the McDonald's player of the game. He's out there lighting it up. He scored, I believe he scored the most points that I can remember. If not, it was Joseph because of the offensive chucks down the court. Either way, beautiful matchup between these two teams. It's been a high intense game, very entertaining to watch, and that'll be the end of the matchup, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Gabriel Eisler. This is Slippery Rock Sports Network, and we'll catch you next time. Check the description for the next match. I don't remember when it is. I believe it's Tuesday the 12th of February. I'm not sure who we're playing. I don't have the schedule that says who we're playing at what time. So anyway, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.